Welcome again. So today we are going to see the usage of a formula. We are not going to derive the formula. We are just going to see how that formula is used. Okay. And that formula is the formula for magnetic field due to a straight wire carrying current. Straight wire carrying current. This is very important for entrance examination. So suppose if you have a wire like this, and this wire is having a current in the upward direction, and say that I want to find the field at this particular point, and let us say that this distance, some book says A, B, C, D, some book says many things. I use the word R because in Biot-Savart law we have R. So I have I and this is R. But what is R? R is the perpendicular distance from the wire. Now there are two ways you can find the field due to a straight wire. There are two ways. One way is the one which you learned in class 10, where you have to just stretch your finger in the direction, your thumb should point in the direction of current, and then you have to curl your finger like this. Correct? Remember? So you have to curl your finger like this, and that will give you the direction of magnetic field. So over here, if I stretch my finger in the direction of the thumb, if I stretch my thumb in the direction of current, then the field here will be inside. Okay, the field here will be, if the current is in the upward direction, field here is inside. Field here will be in this direction, that is towards my left. Field here will be perpendicular to the board and coming out of it. So here it goes, and here it will be in this direction. So here it will be in this direction. Here it will be in this direction. Here it will be in this direction, and here it will be in this direction. This is how the field looks like. Or if you don't want to use that one, if you want to start fresh and if you want to forget class 10, whatever nightmares you had in class 10, if you want to forget, now let us start fresh. Start fresh means in Biot-Savart law, you have to recall the Biot-Savart law. Biot-Savart law is mu naught by 4 pi I dl cross R divided by R cube. So if I use this over here, this is my ideal cross R, correct? So you stretch your finger towards ideal. So this is my ideal line carrying, the current carrying element is ideal. And why I am stretching like this? Because my palm has to face towards the R in which I am trying to fold my fingers. So this is my ideal and this is my R. So where is the thumb? Thumb is inside. Okay. Suppose I want to find the field here at this point. So this is my ideal cross R. Field is in this direction. Suppose I want to find field here. So this is my ideal cross R. Where you have to find, to face your palm in that direction, it becomes very easy. If you want to find the field in this direction, then I and the palm. I should be in the direction of current and the palm should face where you have to find the field. Here. Here. Here, correct? And you will get the answer very easily. So anyways, field here, if I consider this example, field here is inside the board, cross mark indicates inside the board. This is inside. Or you can write minus k cap if you wish to write. But this field has some expression to it. For that expression, we need to complete the diagram. So let us say that that point makes an angle here as theta 2, and let us say that this makes an angle of minus theta 1. Remember, this is theta 2 and you take this as my, okay. I learned confused. So the formula for this field is given by mu naught by 4 pi I by R sine theta 2 minus of sine minus theta 1. This is how the formula looks like, correct? Now if you remember the logic of sine theta 1, if you remember this logic of sine of minus theta is equal to, it's not approximate, it's equal to minus of sine theta, then you can write this one as field equals to mu naught I by 4 pi R sine theta 2 plus sine theta 1. And if you remember this formula, you have no problem, absolutely no problem. Okay. So in this case you have no problem. You may get a problem if only in this case. Just beware of this kind of questions. In this kind of questions, my God. Suppose I want to find field here and this end makes an angle here and this is my R. The wire ends here. So this makes an angle of theta 2 and this makes an angle of theta 1. Okay, if I extrapolate this one over here downward, so the wire is from here to here only, and in that case the top end makes an angle of theta 2 and the bottom end makes an angle of theta 1. So both the angles are positive. So only in this case your field will be equal to mu naught I by 4 pi r, then this will be your sine theta 1, sine theta 2 minus of sine theta 1. This is the case. Rest all, whenever you have one angle up and one angle down from that point where you want to find the field, one angle up, one angle down, this is the formula. And majority of them will have this formula only, sine theta 2 plus sine theta 1. Only be careful with this kind of situation over here. So I will just make a note over here, that you can make a note here, that in this case the sine theta 2 minus sine theta 1. Okay. Now what will be the field here in this case for this situation? Let's say here that I have a field here, and exactly here at the one end I want to find the field, and let us say that this angle is theta 2, and what about theta 1? Theta 1 has become 0 degree now. Okay, so in this case your field will be equal to, this is your R, that is equal to mu naught I by 4 pi r. Then you have sine theta 2 plus sine 0, and sine 0 is, yes, 0, 4 pi r, and then this becomes your sine theta 2. So whatever is this angle theta, that theta will appear here, and this will, or this becomes 0. In this case only we consider this one, that is called semi-infinite wire. That means this end goes to infinity, and you exactly want to find a field here. So again your theta 1 is equal to 0. But what about theta 2? It has gone to infinity. So theta 2 will become 90 degree, because this is how we measure the angle. Now if this length, if this point becomes bigger, so this will also become like this, and at infinity it becomes, okay, are you able to follow it? See, the length is becoming bigger. So in infinity theta 2 becomes 90 degree. So theta 2 becomes 90, theta 1 is equals to 0. So this field will become mu naught I by 4 pi times of r, because theta 2 becomes 90 degree and sine 90 is 1. So this is the field due to semi-infinite wire. What about infinite wire? For infinite wire, suppose this goes to infinity and this also goes to infinity, and here I want to find the field. Okay, so that this both end goes to infinity, that means your theta 2 also has become 90 degree and theta 1 has also become 90 degree. So your formula for field will be equal to mu naught by 4 pi I into r, sorry, this is your r, sine 90 plus sine 90. And what is sine 90 plus sine 90? That is 1 plus 1, that is equal to 2. So this is equal to mu naught 2I by 4 pi r, and this 2 will get cancelled out, so you will get here as mu naught I by 2 pi r. This is the field due to infinite wire, which is carrying a current I. So what we have seen, how to use the formula, how to find the direction. Direction I told you, use either way, right hand thumb rule or Biot-Savart rule, and you will get the direction. Now let's go to some quick numericals over here. And to also remember, in one of my class where I discussed the introduction of Biot-Savart law, in which I told you the formula due to a circular wire, which was mu naught I by 2 pi r, mu naught I by 2 R. Okay. So that also we are going to use, and I also told you that how for an arc, for an arc you can find the field. So all those things I am going to write now as a formula, and then we are going to see some numericals based on this, and hopefully we will try one or two, and rest you can do as a prep. So due to a circular arc, if you remember the formula is mu naught I by 2r, where r is the radius. If it has n number of turns, so for n turns, there is not one turn but many turns. So in that case, field will be equal to mu naught times of ni by 2r. And then what about the arc? If I have one arc over here, let us say I have only a particular arc over here, and it makes an angle of theta, then what is the field formula? The formula for field is mu naught ni, if it has n number of turns, 2r. First you divide by 2 pi in terms of radian. That means you are finding field per unit radian, and then you multiply it by theta, and this theta must be in terms of radian. This theta must be in terms of radian. Okay? And this is the formula, the working formula for any arc carrying a current I. And how to find the direction? Again, you have the best rule for arc is this only. That's the best rule. Like, don't go to Biot-Savart law also. If it is clock, just use your right hand. Your right hand says that if it is clockwise, then field is inside, and if it is anti-clockwise, its field is outside, or just as simple as that. So long you have a direction, clockwise or anti-clockwise. So if this is, so if the current is in this direction, is going in this direction, so the field is in this direction. Okay. Okay. So just rotate your finger in the direction of current, and you will get the answer. Okay. How do we do questions based on this? Suppose you have a straight wire. I'll start with the very simplest question. Okay. Suppose you have a straight wire coming from infinity, and then it makes a loop over here, and then it moves forward again. So this goes to infinity, this is also going to infinity, and this is carrying a current I, and then it makes a loop, and then it goes again. And let us say that the center is at a distance of d. Yeah. So remember, what is our r? R has now become d, and what is our capital R? Capital R has also become d. What is small r? Small r is the distance, perpendicular distance from the straight wire. And what was capital R? Capital R appears in this formula, the radius of the loop. So the radius of the loop is also d, and the perpendicular distance from the straight wire is also d. Now the question is, what is the field at this point? Here, at this point. So if you have to find the field, let us find the field in two parts. Well, you can consider this to be entirely infinite wire as one part, or you can do one semi-infinite, another semi-infinite, and one circular. Okay, or one complete infinite and one circular. I will use one complete infinite and another circular. This is equal to field due to infinite wire plus field due to the circular wire. That is equal to mu naught I. Now, due to infinite wire, the formula is 2 pi d. Check the formula. It says mu naught I divided by 2 pi r, and what is the small r? Small r is d. What about direction? Now, if this is my field, then here I have to find the field at this point. Remember, here. So if this is my wire, if I come here, the field will be in this direction. So that is your plus kk. Or if you use the Biot-Savart law, this is my r vector, this is your ideal cross r. Ideal cross r. Kk. It will take time to understand the direction. Stick to one rule. Best is learn both and then keep practicing with the one which you are more comfortable with. Okay, it will take time. Please don't give me a comment section in comment section that I could not understand the direction. Trust me, it's in your hand. Keep practicing it. You know the answer, just try to figure it out how I got that answer. So mu naught I by 2 pi d into k cube. I'll repeat again, this is my ideal. I'm using the Biot-Savart law. Biot-Savart law, if you remember, it says ideal cross R. So ideal cross R, ideal cross R, ideal cross R, correct? Plus k cube. Okay. Circular wire for a full circle, mu naught I by 2 pi R. So this is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi. Not pi is not there, sorry, pi is not there. And what is the radius of this loop? The radius of this loop is also d. And this is anti-clockwise, correct? So field will be also plus k cap. So field will be also plus k cap. And then you can simplify this and you get the answer. Now here I generally ask this question also. This is example number 1, and then I'm just going to modify this. So I made this loop over here, correct? So now if I just put a hole, remember it's a wire, I can do that. So if I just put this junction and if I rotate this loop in this direction, so it was like this, and then I just hold it over here, I pinch it over here, and then I rotate like this. So the field, the circular wire which was creating a field earlier in this direction, now if you rotate this, it will point in this direction, it will point in plus I cap. So in that case, if I just rotate, after rotating the loop, your field will be equal to, straight wire will remain as it is, mu naught I by 2 pi d k cap plus mu naught I by 2d direction I cap. Now this is not simple addition, this is a vector form. It has a k cap and an I cap. Now you know how to find the resultant of two vectors acting along perpendicular direction. It's in the I cap and k cap form, correct? So how to find the magnitude? Magnitude will be equal to root over of, now remember, root over of this component square plus that component square, okay? This component square and then this component square, that will give you the resultant field. And how will you find the angle? Perpendicular by base, because one field will be in this direction, one field will be in this direction. So because of the wire, field will be along this direction. Because of the loop which I have rotated, it will be in this direction. So resultant will be somewhere along this direction. The resultant will be somewhere along this direction. This will be the direction of resultant. Okay. So this is the circular after rotating, and this is the straight wire, infinite wire, and this one is the resultant somewhere here. And if you have to find the angle, you can find perpendicular by base. Okay, so keep practicing some questions. It's a very interesting topic, I must say. Believe me, it's a very interesting, more interesting things are coming up. So thank you for watching, and do some more questions based on this.